pull up with the big MRAP trucks. And then they're out there, 70-plus guys, heavy armor, batons, helmets, guys on top of the MRAPs with the snipers aimed at people. They didn't just have them on the turns. They were aiming them at people in the crowd. I was standing close enough to them, Alex, where I could hear what they're saying. Hey, look at that guy in the orange shirt. Look at that guy in the red shirt. And I look around, and it's some guy who's, has his hand behind his back stretching like this. But I guess they think that he's reaching for a weapon. And then the guy, another guy, had all the smoke agents, all the chemical agents. Yeah, a lot of support going on out here. So eventually they say you can protest in the daytime. Then they come out and they say you can't protest in the daytime, even though it's 6 p.m. The sun was clearly out. So everybody's standing on the sidewalks. You guys can't stand on the sidewalk. I said, well, sir, this is a public sidewalk, is what we're saying to these guys. And they said you can't stand here. They eventually. By the way,
do they say sir back to you? No, they don't treat you with respect.
No, they don't do that. So they start pushing myself. They start pushing Joe Biggs. We have to all move back because they're saying if you stay here, you're going to get arrested. So they shove it. They're shoving us. If you stay here, you're going to get arrested. So they're brutalizing us as they're telling us to get down the street. So eventually, we get to the area where we are now. We see all these protesters. Everybody's peaceful in the streets. People were having somewhat of a block party in the middle of the street.
And by the way, Jakari, we're showing HD footage you guys have now had a chance to upload to us of them training their M4, M16s on peaceful people even during the daylight. I mean, this is so provocative.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And another thing, Alex, when they were moving the big MRAPs, they kept saying, nobody throw anything. We're like, we're not throwing anything. Nobody throw anything. Nobody was throwing anything at that point. The guy who threw the initial bottle was several hours later. So we're out here because the police have the streets blocked off in both directions. So a church group's out here. There's at least 3 or 4 people out here, 3 or 400 people out here at that time. And so everybody's out here congregating. And then eventually, probably about 2 or 3 hours later, once the sun went down, somebody took it upon themselves to throw a bottle at the police. And because one guy threw a bottle, nobody can have a First Amendment anymore. Even though they had 70-plus heavy armor guys who could have easily ran out here and caught that one guy. No, nobody can be out here because we're no longer peaceably assembled.
Well, Jakari, that's like when one teenage kid's running and is hiding in a boat. They shut down half the city and go in people's houses, grabbing blonde-haired women by the hair, dragging them out and aiming guns at people.
Just like Boston.
Yeah, it's all a power grab. That's what this is all about.
Oh, it is a power grab because they're out here power tripping. They're on the loudspeakers. Get back, and then you hear the soft-voiced woman. She says, please turn off your cameras. Or she said, please, just turn off your cameras. And we all look at each other. They say, just turn off your cameras. No, we're not going to turn off our cameras because if you think about all the hostility we got while our cameras are on, how much more when the cameras are off?
Well, you're absolutely right, Jakari, and it's so much more has happened. I mean, now we're getting the HD footage you guys shot in the dark last night. You're in neighborhoods, and they're chasing after people, just like when Rob Dew got arrested in Pittsburgh for the G20. The G20 was over, and they went to the university to find kids out at night in the park eating dinner, and were assaulting women on bicycles, and then chasing people into the dorms, attacking them like mad dogs.
That's what it was. It was a mad dog mentality because some of these people, well, not some, many of these people live in this neighborhood right behind me. So they were shooting tear gas and rubber bullets at people standing in their own front yards. And I was with, you guys probably saw when they threw the flashbang at Al Jazeera. I was standing right there when that happened because we all got separated, myself from the rest of the InfoWars crew. And I saw a bunch of camera people. There's also a local NBC affiliate over there as well. I said, okay, they're probably not going to attack us. They see the lights, they see the cameras. No, they said, okay, we see a good lit up target. Let's attack these guys. And they shot the guy from Al Jazeera. So we all take off running because they keep shooting the smoke. And I had to actually hop over somebody's fence. And when you guys saw in the video, they shot 3 flashbangs at me. Bang, bang, bang. So I had to hop over somebody's fence. We're running. We had to run through somebody's yard very briefly to get to the other side. And there's this girl who had inhaled the smoke. And so we had to actually lay her down on the ground. And the rest of us were just trying to get positioned so they wouldn't come after us anymore. But they went all the way down the street. Maybe we can show them, Josh. They started right here back where this black car is, and they just went all the way down this street, just shooting smoke, flashbangs. Going down the street is where we found the ordnance that Joe Biggs was showing you about the rubber bullets, about the gas canisters, all that stuff was going all the way down this street. I mean, like Joe Biggs said, there was a huge plume of smoke going all the way down this street. It no doubt went into this neighborhood behind us. So innocent people who were just out sitting on their front porch had to breathe this as well.
Well, again, Jakari Jackson reporting from Ferguson, Missouri. If you just joined us, Jakari, you guys plan to be there tonight and throughout the next few nights, and we'll get more reporters up there to relieve you. So we need to start setting that up via the weekend. Then I guess if it's still going on, I'll make plans to go up there on Monday. I've got child issues and things I got to take care of this weekend, but who knows? I may have to go up there regardless because it looks like this is starting to escalate. Any word on what we know is coming up tonight?
Well, all I've heard is that I believe it was reported by RT that the local police are no longer going to police this area, even though they didn't really seem like police to me. They seem more like a invading military force. So who's going to replace them if that is true? I'm not sure if it's going to be National Guard. I'm not sure if it's going to be some private outfit. I don't know. So we have to wait and see at this point. But we have seen local police, state troopers and so forth driving up and down here. They're not blocking anything off at this point. They usually start the blockade probably about 3 or 4 o'clock. So we'll probably find out around that time who's actually going to be out here, quote, policing the area. Lights out, America, lights out at 6 o'clock. Get in your houses and prepare to work tomorrow. Land of the free, home of the brave.
This hour brought to you by...
Now we got our cameraman, Josh Owens. Josh, you were there at the Bundy Ranch where the feds stood down because they knew people had firearms. And now you've witnessed this here. It's just incredible. They try to say everybody at Bundy was racist whites. Now they're saying it's racist blacks. No, they're just humans that don't want to be hunted and killed. And I don't want to make the police the enemy either, but they're being given orders and doctrines that are authoritarian and will cause civil war. Josh Owens, Infowars.com cameraman, give us your take on what you've witnessed in Ferguson, Missouri.
Josh Owens reporting from Ferguson, Missouri. Yeah, I would like to give my account of what happened because it's a little bit different than theirs. It all started right back here where we were all together. They start coming in. They start throwing flashbangs, throwing tear gas. Biggs runs over here, gets shot. Jakar runs to the other side of the street, and I run straight down this street right here that you can see behind me. As soon as I start running, they start shooting tear gas all around my feet. And I'm not the healthiest guy in the world, so I'm breathing heavily. And I literally cannot catch my breath, and I start vomiting immediately. I know it's disgusting, but this is just what happened. Start vomiting immediately, and I go blind. I can't see anything. I run into a car over here as they're continuing to throw explosions all around me. I run into a car, and someone was nice enough to give me some water. I throw it in my eyes. We all keep running down there while I'm still trying to film them pushing forward, throwing flashbangs, throwing tear gas. As soon as I get down here, probably, I don't know, 1/4 of a mile, they start flooring the MRAPs. They start running towards us. They start arresting people. So I start running down this road, and I run into a neighborhood. They chase me into a neighborhood, and inside the neighborhood, over the houses, they're throwing tear gas into the streets of the neighborhood because a lot of people were running.
And by the way, those are very flammable. You're not supposed to do that. That's a big news issue. That's what probably burned down Waco. Wow, you're saying they were shooting those over houses?
They were shooting them over houses into the neighborhood. So I'm running through the neighborhood, still vomiting, completely blind. I cannot see anything. And luckily enough, I found someone in a car. I actually ran into the car, and it was a Vice reporter. She let me into the car.
Hold on, I want to hear about this. Back in 60 seconds. Then George Norrie's coming up.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there's a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted. Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, InfoWars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on the pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level.